Very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. My name is Varun Pawar, and welcome back to my channel, which is Certified Business Analysis Professional. And so far, what we have done is we were discussing requirement lifecycle management, a knowledge area, in that we have done with our trace requirement, maintain requirement, and today we will discuss on prioritized requirements. So the inputs are requirements and the design, and the output is requirements prioritized and design prioritized. So what are the objectives? The objective of prioritized requirement is to rank requirements in the order of relative importance. It is the act of ranking requirements to determine their relative importance to stakeholders. It can refer to the relative value of a requirement or to the sequence in which it will be implemented. It is an ongoing process with the priorities changing as the context changes. Interdependencies between requirements are identified and can used as the basis for prioritization as well. Prioritization is a critical exercise that seeks to ensure the maximum value is achieved. So out of those pointers for the objective, first we have to understand like what is prioritization. So let's say there are 10 requirements in a list. So which requirement you have to work on, what on first priority, that is decided based on the prioritization. There are three different methods to do the prioritization. The first one is the ranking, that you rank that requirement one is important than requirement two. It could be based upon the business value that the requirement one is giving more business value than the requirement two. It could be based on the grouping that a certain set of the requirements should go together and should go on top priority. It's again based on the value, could be based on the penalty or could be based on the regulatory guidelines. So we'll talk about these factors based on which the prioritization decided. But in terms of the methodology, there are three methods. The first one is the ranking, the second one is the grouping, and the third one is the negotiation. So negotiation is basically when the stakeholders push their requirement against the other requirements in line and try to rank their requirement on top. So these are three methods how the prioritization works. So hope you understand the prioritization. So these pointers you can read through. Let's move ahead. So prioritize requirements, the input and the output map is here. Now input, we have requirements and the design. So why the requirements? So requirements, any requirement that are ready to be prioritized is considered for prioritized requirement prioritization. Any design that are ready to be prioritized considered for the requirement prioritization. Then the guidelines and the tools that also act as an input. So why the business constraint? Business constraints basically provide the regulatory and the contractual obligation and the business policies. Then change strategy, it talks about or provide information on cost, timeline, and the value realization. Then we have a domain knowledge. So domain knowledge helps in prioritization. If you are expertise in the business domain or you have extensive knowledge, then only it will help in prioritization. Governance approach. It outlines the approach for prioritizing the requirements. Then we have requirement architecture. Well, requirement architecture restores the relationship between the requirements, and it would help in prioritization when we talk about the grouping of the requirements in terms of the priority. Then we have requirement management tool and repository. So requirement management tool, most of the people works in the Jira. That is one of the online requirement management tool. And Jira, in Jira we have a lot of attributes that for respective requirements, which says like the ownership of the requirement, when it is created, who has created it, how many story points is assigned, when the requirement is required to be delivered, and in which status the requirement is currently, how many other requirements is linked to this, will this requirement will be implemented with any other requirements. That's talk about the dependency. So lot other attributes is associated with any requirement is is seen or can be seen via the requirement management tool or the repository. Then we have solution scope. So whenever we do prioritization, the solution scope need to be managed so that no requirement is going out of the boundaries. And once we have all set of requirements in place and we do the prioritization, and then we get either the requirement is prioritized or the design is prioritized. And requirement design prioritized, it's based on the highest value designs are addressed first, or highest value requirements addressed first. Now let's talk about the elements. So we have four elements, and in this we have basis for prioritization. So what are the basis for the prioritization that in the initial slide that I talked about? The factors that affects the prioritization is the basis for the prioritization. So just remember this acronym BPCR that would help you in answering few of the question in examination. So B represents the benefits. So when we do the prioritization, we do the cost benefit analysis, and where the benefits is outweighing the cost, those requirements we try to put on top in prioritization list. Then we have the penalty. Suppose if any requirement is not done on a time, that would levied the high penalty in terms of the cost, right? So those requirements you need to be addressed first. Then the cost is itself. If we are saying that if this requirement not done right now, later the cost of implementing that requirement could be high. So based on the cost, we take a decision and prioritize the requirement. Then the risk factor is also involved. If we say that if we'll not implement this requirement right now, later if we implement, there is a huge risk associated. So in that term, we implement the we prioritize the requirement. Then it's about the dependency D. So let's say requirement one is dependent on requirement two. So both the requirements need to be implemented together. So if requirement one is going right now as a top priority, then as per the rule of the prioritization, the dependent requirement should be taken along. Then we have the time sensitivity. Time sensitivity says that the timing of the requirement, like the go to market requirement, like if that requirements can give you more benefit in this. These are basically seasonal requirement, like say you want to sell the umbrellas, but during the monsoon, if you will not if you want to sell umbrellas, then monsoon is the very good time. But if you are trying to sell it during the spring and the summers, then that won't be work out. So some requirements are seasonal, and that take care of the time sensitivity go to market approach. Then we have the stability. So based on the stability, like some of the requirements is could be changed in near future because these are not concrete yet. These are not mature enough to take further, or the requirement is not clear, or we need further more information from the stakeholders. Stakeholders is not confident about the requirement. So such requirements is fall in the bucket of the stability issues, and generally such requirements we do the low priority. Reason being, these requirements are deemed to be changed in near future, so such requirements is given a very low priority. Then the regulatory are basically the mandatory requirements. So you always pick those requirements on priority. Otherwise, if there will be any uh, policy guidelines infringement or any such things, that would levy a heavy penalty on you. Then the challenges of prioritization. Well, obviously, when we are working in our projects, though there are a lot of stakeholders, whenever we do a backlog prioritization, so one stakeholder always pushes their requirement on top of other stakeholders, saying that this is the high value requirement. it could be possible that that requirement is high from his point of view, but it's not always necessary that requirement is really high. So that need to be decided based on the organization level stuff, like the things. If we come under one umbrella of the organization and then think rationally that for the organization which requirement is more valued, then only we'll able to prioritize it. But overall, it happens in a lot of the organization between different stakeholders. They always used to push their requirement upfront. So prioritization is an assessment of a relative value. So one requirement, second requirement, or which requirement is giving high value, that way the prioritization is being decided. But since the stakeholder pushes their own requirements on pretext of their value is more important than the value of other, so that negotiation happens and then trade-offs done and then finalization of the requirement is being done. Each stakeholders may value something different that I just spoke about. Different type of requirements may not all respond to the criteria in the same way and may appear to conflict. That we have already discussed. There may be a need for stakeholders to make trade-offs in prioritization, that also we have discussed. Now, the elements, another element is the continual prioritization. So priorities may shift as the context evolves and as more information becomes available. So prioritization is a continuous process. It's not like once you have done the prioritization and the priority cannot be changed. It in a by the time the requirement is in a process, uh, right? In a process, the status of that requirement keep changing, attributes keep changing, and at the same time when other dependent when if you remember the core concept model, we have talked about the context, value, solution, change, right? So there, if any of the aspect of pertaining to the requirement changes, the reprioritization need to be done. So initially, prioritization is done at a higher level of abstraction. At that time, we don't have a deep dive information related to the requirement. So based on the just high level information, we try to prioritize that. But later on, when more information, more information available pertaining to the requirement, the prioritization can be impacted. As the requirements are further refined, prioritization is done at a more granular level and will incorporate additional bases for prioritization as they become appropriate. The basis for prioritization may be different at various stages of the change. For example, stakeholders may initially prioritize based on the benefit, right? So those factors that we have discussed, BPCR, DTSR. So based on those factors, any of the factors if changes later, the prioritization shifted up or down. The implementation team may then reprioritize the requirements based on the sequence in which they must be implemented due to technical constraint. Once the implementation team has provided the cost for each requirement, the stakeholders may reprioritize yet again. So, we try to give the prioritization. Suppose we have sorted our list in an order 1 to 10. We have provided these requirements to the implementation team to implement it. But till now, we didn't get we didn't get a go ahead from the technical team itself, because they are the final authority in terms of assessing like which requirement is possible to be implemented in particular releases based on the dependency and the technical constraints. So if there is any technical constraint or a technical challenge that is that is making the requirement not to be implemented, or it would delay, so the technical team comes up with saying, oh, this particular requirement cannot move ahead with because there is some technical dependencies. They have to met these dependencies first in order to implement it. So these to and fro between information between the different teams may also impact the prioritization. In that way, in that sequence, then we have to reprioritize certain requirements. Now, who are the stakeholders who participate in the prioritization? Well, customer. Customer is very important. Where it customer verify the prioritized requirements, whether the prioritized requirements delivers value or not. If the prioritized requirement will not deliver the value as they expected, the priority of the requirement can be changed. The end user verifies that prioritized requirement delivers value, right? So this is like the verification once the requirement has been implemented. So the prioritized requirement delivers value that is verified by the end user. Then the domain subject matter expert. If you remember, we have talked about the business domain, where we say the knowledge of the business domain is very important for the prioritization. So DSME is a superhero in that term. He knows in and out of the entire domain, so help in the prioritization. Then the implementation subject matter expert. It provide information for the technical dependencies and negotiate for any technical constraint and adjust prioritization. So that example we have given in the previous slide. So you hope you will able to relate it. The project managers. Project managers prioritization as an input to project plan. So when the project manager plans the project, there the prioritization is also happens, and uh, it helps project manager also need to be in sync with the prioritization. Regulatory, well, there are regulatory guidelines that we need to adhere, and if these requirements are delayed, could be subjected to the penalty or licenses withdrawn or something. So prioritization is consistent with legal consent is very important. So here prioritization comes into picture. Then sponsor is very important. Stakeholder verifies that the prioritized requirement will deliver values from organization perspective. So remember when I said that there are different stakeholders who are pushing their own requirement in respect to other requirements, saying this is the high value, this is the high value. Then I said like the requirements need to be seen from the organization perspective, which requirement is giving high value. There the sponsor is the hero who tells, oh, we'll not do this, we'll do this. And then finally we have the techniques. So backlog management. Obviously the backlog management is the area or the specific dashboard where you do the prioritization of the requirements. Then we have the business case. Business case assess the requirement against identified business goals and objectives to determine the importance. Then we have decision analysis. It identify high value requirements. The estimation produce estimates for the basis of prioritization. Then we have financial analysis. It assesses the financial value of a set of requirements and how the timing of the delivery will affect that value. Then we have interviews. Gain an understanding of a single or a small group of stakeholder basis of prioritization or priorities. Item tracking, track issues raised by stakeholders during prioritization. And then prioritization itself, it facilitates the process of prioritization. The risk analysis and management used to understand the risk for the basis of prioritization. Finally, we have the workshops. Gain an understanding of stakeholder basis of prioritization or priorities in a facilitated group setting. So hope you will able to understand or relate these techniques with our prioritization process. So that's it from the requirement prioritization. And I hope you are liking my videos. Please inform me, please put the comments so that I can read your comments and get any feedback how to improve the sessions. I'll be waiting for your feedback. Till then, take care, goodbye, and we'll see you in the next session.